I don't think Amazon offers that quickly. It usually takes some time for them to process the results, get feedback, and then make an offer. But it seems like, yeah, for this person, they really like this person and wanted to offer right away. Google was in hiring committee stage position. Okay, so what this means is that for Google, they're a little bit different from Amazon or other companies in that usually if you do well at Amazon, or usually if you do well at Google, they will put all your feedback from the interview in a packet and then submit that to a what they call a hiring committee. So a hiring committee is you have a few people, very experienced engineers or people within Google who reviewed the packet and determine whether this person is a hire or not. So to sum it up, the interviewers themselves don't make the call to hire or not. They make a recommendation and an evaluation, a score essentially of where they think this candidate was. The hiring committee makes the decision. So just the fact that this person was being put in a hiring committee stage means that they did well enough in their interview that they decided that it was a strong enough packet to be submitted to the hiring committee. You don't usually see that many people getting rejected once they get to the hiring committee stage but it does happen from time to time. It's not very common, but it does happen. Position, software engineer, application, Google Recruiter cold message me on LinkedIn. And okay, stage 1, call with the recruiter. Stage 2, virtual onsite. Wow, so this person basically skipped the technical phone screen or the round with the hiring manager and just went into the onsite directly. Interview 1, write a coding challenge. I probably won't go through all the questions here and how to solve them, but if you're interested in understanding how to solve these problems, leave a comment below and I'll try to take time. But if you're interested in how to solve these questions, if you're interested in the solutions to these problems, leave a comment below saying, what questions you want me to tackle, and then I will make a video on that. Second interview, coding challenge. Okay, coding challenge. Interview 3, again, coding challenge. So all of them are coding challenges so far. Interview 4, googliness. So that's behavioral questions. And number 5, coding challenge. Okay, so just to summarize this person had 4 different coding challenges and 1 behavioral round. Typically, if you're more of a mid-level engineer, you're not at the senior level yet, you're a mid-level engineer with maybe under 5 or 6 years of experience, they're probably not going to ask you system design questions because that's more of a senior level engineer, and they probably won't get that much signal from asking you, how to design Twitter at scale. Interview result. Feedback on my performance was mostly positive, so I made it to a hiring committee. At this point, the hiring committee decided that because of my poor performance in the second interview, but strong performance in the other rounds, they wanted me to do 2 more 45 minutes. Okay. While waiting to schedule the 2 additional rounds, I started the team matching process and met with a team that I ended up feeling really positive about. Shortly before my interviews, however, Facebook made me an offer and that was my top choice, so I accepted Facebook. Okay, so this person stopped. So this person went into the hiring committee stage and then started the team matching process as well. This was really confusing to me because my understanding was that once you make it to the hiring committee, they would have to approve you first. They would have to approve to make you an offer first before getting started on the team matching process. So this was a little bit confusing. I don't know what happened there exactly, because if this person ended up choosing a team and then failed the 2 additional interviews, then Google wouldn't make an offer anyway. So it was going to be a waste of time for both parties. Yeah, so I'm not too sure what went on there. I'll be really interested to see why that actually happened. So the last one here, okay, Facebook offer accepted. Whew. Congrats to this person. Definitely a lot of work that went into all these interviews. And finally, this person landed a job at Facebook. Position, rotational software engineer. I don't know what rotational software engineer really means. I would think it's just like a regular software engineer. Application, interviewed with Facebook in 2018 and got rejected. Recruiter followed up with me a year later and asked if I was interested. At the time I wasn't, but then several months later I followed up and was able to schedule a call. So this one basically, right? So this one basically, even if you got rejected the first time around, there's what we call a hiring freeze or a code. There's what we call a hiring freeze where they will not reach out to you again for another year, but after a year you can apply again, or if you did well enough the previous year, then the recruiter would reach out to you actively and see if you're interested in interviewing. So I've seen this happen quite a bit. Stage 1, call with the recruiter. Quick and straightforward conversation about the position, the company, my background, and interviewing process. Stage 2, technical phone screen. Coding challenge 1, coding challenge 2. So the first challenge was easy level leak code, and the second question was medium level leak code. The interesting thing about Facebook is that each round of interviews, they are looking for 1 to 2, ideally 2 questions solved within the span of 45 minutes. So you can see that, trying to solve 2 leak code questions within 45 minutes means that 1, your coding skills has to be really, really good, because you have to be able to write code really quickly, solve problems really quickly, and then being able to pivot or find a solution, even if it is brute force, really quickly. So they focus a lot on speed, accuracy. That's the only thing I kind of wanted to call out, because Facebook's a little bit different from like all the other companies. Stage 3, virtual on-site. So this is the on-site after the technical phone screen. There were 4 interviews here. Again, same thing as. So there were 4 interviews here. The first interview was a coding challenge, and 2 questions here. Write a function. Both are writing functions, and it seems like they're easy mid-level questions, not too difficult for Facebook. Interview 2, system design. Problem, you're working on a music streaming app. So maybe something like Spotify. How would you build a feature to show users their top 10 most played songs each week? Okay, yeah, this is pretty typical system design problem where they're asking to see, do you understand how to design software? Not necessarily distributed design, not necessarily distributed systems, but how would you reasonably take an app and build a feature that they want on there? If you're interested in how to solve this problem or exploring how you even get started on this, leave a comment below and then I will make another video talking about this problem. Third interview, behavioral, was asked several behavioral questions about how it handles certain scenario. Okay, so this is what we call like a cultural fit round. And then the last round was a coding challenge, something like LeetCode 460. Okay, yeah, so this was a little bit on the lighter side. So there were 2 coding challenges, 1 behavioral and 1 system design. This is very typical for a entry level or mid-level engineer. Definitely not very typical for a senior level engineer. Interview result, receive offer for rotational software engineer E4. Okay, so E4 at Facebook is what you would call a mid-level software engineer. It starts from E3, which is the entry level. If you're a college grad and you got into Facebook, you probably start at E3, and then you get promoted within 2 years or so to E4, and then the next level is a senior level engineer, which is an E5, and usually that takes another 3, 4, maybe even 5 years from E4. The interviewing experience, extremely positive. Recruiters were outstanding. Interviewers were really experienced. Yep. So yeah, that's, I think, very, very typical of interviewing at a tech company. Closing thoughts. Ooh, wow, this person wrote a lot of things in here. Closing thoughts here. I think I was probably largely carried by my communication, interpersonal skills. Okay. I think what this person meant was that they probably did really well due to their communication and interpersonal skills. especially during times where I could not fully solve a problem or had a brute force solution. I made every effort to never allow more than a couple seconds of silence. If I was stuck, I would just think out loud. So my advice would be to use blah or practice with friends until you feel strong or confident. If you don't feel confident about your communication skills, please practice. Yes, my take here is that if you're interviewing, and communication skills is one of like the most important skills that you need to have. Don't just try to like put yourself in a box and like think of a solution all the time. It's fine if you say you need 5 minutes to think, but try to communicate as much as possible. The interviewer is also a software engineer. They're there as a resource to help unblock you. It's also very painful for them if you're just stuck there not making any progress. So talk to them, think out loud, have a genuinely try to have a conversation and see how they can help unblock you. Number 2, don't underestimate behavioral questions. So you probably realize by now, every single interview has a round for behavioral questions. That's about cultural fit, right? They want to understand, are there any red flags in this person? Are they able to work well with others? What are they passionate about? What are they not passionate about? So it's very important. You need to prepare for that, regardless of any company that you interview at. And especially for Amazon, I'm just going to emphasize this again. Leadership principles for Amazon. Leadership principles for Amazon. Focus on that. Third, you have to be thinking, breathing, leaving coding challenges and design interviews for at least a month. That's a little bit aggressive for me, I think. I think definitely it takes some effort to kind of get into that mindset of getting ready for interviews. But spending, being full time just coding and preparing for interviews, that's a little bit of a overkill. But if you have a lot of time, or if you are ready to make the investment, go for it. Kudos to you. Fourth, mental health and routine. I think this is really important. Establishing a routine for yourself and sticking to that routine is very, very important. When I was interviewing for all the tech companies, when I was looking for a job, it was very important for me to set a schedule for myself and stick to a regular routine so that I can kind of get into the mindset of building the right habits to make sure that I am progressing in my interview prep. The last one, during the interview, virtual hangouts, virtual interviews, having a whiteboard in my office was very helpful. So this is specifically more on the interview process itself because of COVID-19. So a lot of people right now are being asked to do virtual interviews where you might have to talk to them and you don't have a whiteboard. You're just going to write code on a shared coding doc. So that's a little bit different. It takes some practice. So definitely, I think this person called it out really well. Having a whiteboard in my office was very helpful. If you can, try to get something not even like a whiteboard, but maybe just like a piece of paper or something, so that you can kind of write things on there and kind of explain your thoughts and kind of flip over. And I think that's going to be very, very helpful. All right, so that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed this story. I definitely did. I can see that this person spent a lot of time on their interviewing prep. They definitely very, very smart, very, very dedicated, very hardworking. So kudos to this person. Congratulations if you're watching this. You've done a great job, and congratulations on landing a job with Facebook. All right, that's it from me. If you like more content like this, leave a comment below. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe. All right, if you like videos like this, hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.